Imagine buying your dream house only to find out it comes with a stalker who wants young blood.
What attracts people to live in a huge mansion? Is it because we all want to live the most luxurious life possible? Is it a status symbol? Or do they really need it because they have a huge family? After all, homes are definitely the most cherished possessions of a human being. They ensure a comfortable life. And while for most people a decent-sized house is more than enough, for some, it's only mansions that rise to their limitless expectations. But now, let's take a look at 10 mansions no one wants to buy for any price. Number 10. The New Jersey Watcher Home. The New Jersey Watcher Home is the house that made headlines for a truly creepy reason. Back in 2014, Derek Brodus and his wife Maria bought a 6-bedroom house at 657 Boulevard for $1.3 million. They were doing some renovations before they moved in, and one night he went outside to check the mail. There wasn't much in the mail except a few bills and a white card envelope with the new owner written on it. And it wasn't the first and last one that they got in the mail.
From someone who called themselves the Watcher. Now, after years of torment, that family is finally speaking out.
As it was reported, the letters were sent by someone who claimed to have been sort of a guardian of the Westfield house for years. The letter started by welcoming the Broduses to the neighborhood. The letter read, 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out. The letter writer seemed to have noticed the new owner's children, who were 5, 8, and 10 years old. You have children. I have seen them. So far, I think there are 3 that I have counted. Do you need to fill the house with the young blood I requested? Better for me. Was your old house too small for the growing family? Or was it greed to bring me your children? Can you imagine how creepy that would have been for the new owners? They received 3 letters identifying their children and the details such as the family's car and the contractors whom they bought in to renovate.
The letter writer was likely an older person who has issues that could have stemmed back to childhood.
One of the letters wrote that the house was anxious for them to move in. It has been years and years since the young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found all the secrets it holds yet? Will the young blood play in the basement? Or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be very afraid if I were them. It's far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream. It's even impossible to describe how they would feel, and the house turned out to be the hardest thing to sell because that story went viral. Number 9. The Halston Party Penthouse. Located in the luxurious Upper East Side of Manhattan, New York, the Halston Party Penthouse was a famous party place in the 1970s, hosting several famous personalities as guests.
The hallway is lined with photos of the 1970s who's who, many of which were taken right here in this house.
With its 2-story bamboo-filled greenhouse, double-height ceilings, roof terrace, sunken living room, and catwalks overlooking all the action, it was the symbol of an era laden with disco and debauchery. And that's the centerpiece for iconic fashion designer Halston. He would invite male sex workers, who would then be fed steak as foreplay, and host viewings for Moroccan sex shows, which apparently featured some bestiality. The house remains unsold despite offers for an additional discount, because most people with that kind of money do not want to be associated with the controversial owner and famed designer Roy Halston Frowick, who had peculiar tastes that repel the potential buyers from ever buying the house. Number 8. Ann Starrett Mansion, Port Townsend, Washington. Located in Port Townsend, Washington, this beautiful Victorian mansion with Queen Anne architectural detailing was built in 1889. It sits on a hilltop and boasts 11 bedrooms and 7 baths over an area of 5,800 square feet and a stunning view of the bay nearby. It was actually turned into a boutique hotel, but it was eventually shut down since no one wants to visit or buy it. But why? Well, it turns out that Starrett's and perhaps some of their employees are still there. The ghosts of Anne and George Starrett haunt their Port Townsend, Washington home, along with the spirit of their children's nanny, who has been known to make pictures fall, turn off lights when no one is in a room, or thump guests on the head if they make offensive remarks. Number 7. Stonewalled Sanctuary in Alpine, New Jersey. You might be wondering, how can this amazing property still be for sale? When the Stone Mansion in Alpine, New Jersey first came onto the market in 2010, it was a sensation. The 30,000 square foot palace was the most expensive listing, with a $68 million price tag. The property has lush gardens, a 65-foot saltwater pool, tennis court, jacuzzi, a large pool house, and a motor court for 11 cars. But this state has been unable to attract a buyer. Maybe it was built for an exclusive buyer, perhaps too exclusive.
It was done to meet the needs of anybody that wants to entertain in a very big way.
Number 6. Charming Forge Mansion, Wilmsdorf, Pennsylvania. Located in Wilmsdorf, Pennsylvania, a portion of this colonial-style mansion was originally built in 1749, and it was historically restored in 1994, but with modern amenities. The house has 7 bedrooms, 7 fireplaces, a carriage barn, and a separate guest house made of stone. Henry William Stiegel, the original owner of the house, died in 1785, and people have claimed that his ghost haunts the house, slamming doors, roaming headless around the property, in addition to a crying woman in the top bedroom. Number 5. The Priestley House, Canton, Mississippi. The Priestley House, which is located in Canton, Mississippi, was built by Dr. James Priestley in 1852. It has 4 bedrooms accessed by a grand staircase, complete with a period kitchen, 4 bathrooms, a formal dining room, music room, parlor, sleeping area, pool, terrace, and greenhouse, all in peak condition on an acre of land. It's still for sale and even has its own website. But the tales of the hauntings have stained this mansion's real estate reputation. Former owners claim to have seen ghostly activities around the house, including terrifying voices, things moving about the room, and a woman-like figure on the porch. So due to these reasons, the house has not had any offers from buyers. Number 4. Granat Loma. Called Granat Loma, this gigantic log cabin sits on the shores of Lake Superior, north of Marquette, Michigan.
It is near Big Bay, Michigan. You can see this edifice here in front of us.
It was built in 1923. The 26,000 square foot main home originally cost $5 million to construct and has 23 bedrooms, 4 apartments, a huge hot tub, and a private backwater to pair with it. This place is full of paintings and artifacts which are not necessarily priceless, but at least the house is furnished. In 2015, it was put on sale for $40 million, but it's quite hard to believe that someone with good taste and an extra $40 million would want to buy this property. Even though they dropped the price to $20 million, there are still no takers. Number 3. Private Escape in Northville, Michigan. This amazing $9,900,000 mansion on historic 8 Mile Road first went on the market at a much higher asking price. The 4,600 square foot hidden gem, located on a lush 4.5 acre lot, still hasn't found a buyer. Although its location on a private road may contribute to its low visibility in the Detroit metropolitan area market, it is hard to imagine that potential buyers who get close enough to see its chateau-esque exterior, stone fireplace, and grand spiral staircase wouldn't be impressed. Number 2. Historic Montclair House. An eye-catching 6-bedroom house in New Jersey is located on 3 acres of land and is more than 100 years old. It was built in 1906 by the famous architect Dudley S. Van Antwerp and was once the home of Aubrey Lewis, the first African-American football captain at Notre Dame University who went on to become an FBI agent. That explains why the house is protected by the Historic Preservation Commission. But did you know that it can be all yours for $10? Granted, that purchase price is only for the house, not the land, and though located in gorgeous Montclair, New Jersey, you can't live on the site because they're about to build 8 different houses on the property, meaning you can have the house for $10 if you are willing to move it somewhere else at your own expense. Number 1. Schwepp Mansion, Lake Forest, Illinois.
One of the most impressive houses truly ever built in the Chicago area. This was built in 1915.
This incredible mansion is located in Lake Forest, Illinois, and was built in 1917 by the famous architect Frederick Wainwright Perkins as a wedding gift for Laura Shedd and her husband Charles Schwepp. It spans 21,000 square feet, boasts 12 bedrooms, and 11 baths on 5.5 acres, complete with a 400-foot beachfront. after being expensively and elaborately restored. This royal mansion was put on the market at $18 million. By now, its price has dropped by almost 50% over a period of 10 years. Laura Shep died there of a heart attack in 1937, and 4 years later, Charles blew his brains out after leaving a strange note that read, "I have been awake all night, it's terrible." But it seems that the couple and some of their servants never left the mansion. Would you buy any of these mansions? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching.